Welcome back. We had just gone on our third date with Joseph last time, and this time we're going on our third date with Craig. Um, and to explain the pun title of this episode, Cahn, You Feel the Love Tonight, it is based off of the very famous song from The Lion King, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And we're just going to get started with the date simply because the third dates are always really long. And I don't really like my episodes to be that long. Like, Joseph's episode was over an hour last time. So I'm going to see if I can just get right on it. That's good. And Craig. So it's not just going to be us and Mother Nature. It'll be us, Mother Nature, and Craig.
Yes.
Um, all of these are pretty good options. Like, I Got It is very basic. Don't You Dare. Like, all of these are a natural answer for me, too. That's the hard part. Just kind of on the side low. Like, I wonder if Amanda at the Dadsona, sit in the rocking chairs on what assumes to be their front porch. I honestly can't tell from time to time. Anyway, so Don't You Dare, yeah, that's something I would answer too, because it's just like, Craig, you need to relax, right? You never relax. You need to relax. But such a gentleman. Like, if I'm really good friends with Craig, which I am, then this is probably going to be my number one answer that I would answer most naturally. I hope they were made for some other things. Exactly. Relax.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Wait, I thought we were taking my car. I'm confused. Because this is my car. I mean, it's nice to be like want to conserve electricity, but if it's just plugged in and it's not running, it really shouldn't be a problem. I kind of wish we could see the CD though, because I want to see what Craig's handwriting looks like. Does he have like very neat handwriting? Does he have somewhat sloppy handwriting? Because to me, you can actually tell a lot about a person from what kind of handwriting they have. I hope it's a ton of really good 80s and, early to mid 90s, maybe even just 80s and 90s, just all together hits though. Like, to me, that would be a good mix CD. I don't really think the devs like regulated the volume at some parts very well, because this is very loud to me. And certain songs they play through, like certain background music they play through the game, is like much louder than other parts of the game. So I hope you guys can hear me. I have no idea. I mean, you've trained for this. Seems like a good Craig answer. And I don't think it's anything unnatural. Like, I could feel myself saying that. There won't be. To me, that's a very natural answer. This seems like it might give him anxiety. So, I'm just gonna go with you've trained for this. He looks me directly. Okay, that's really intense. thing is, the tent actually looks really good.
Hey!
Oh.
Hey!
Ooh, the butt tree. Maybe it's foreshadowing for what's to come.
Hey!
Oh. Hmm? Hmm?
Ooh. I need me some 70s porno music, some bounce chicka wow wow right now. Oh my. Mm-mm-mm. I know what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. Delicious. We are definitely going to look at Craig's butt. We're also going to look at his front too. We're gonna drink all that in.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, I mean, if he's encouraging us, personally, I'm gonna put on a show. That's the kind of person I am. Oh, I don't know if it's Craig's birthday or my birthday. Maybe it's Nature's birthday. We can just go with that. Oof, oof. Y'all making this too spicy. I don't think we're naked though. Like, I think we're in our underwear like Craig is.
Nice.
Hmm?
Oof, ouch.
Oh.
I'm sure we're gonna feel that in the morning.
Hmm? Hmm.
The beast? Is that a euphemism, Craig? Is that a euphemism? Because I will gladly waken the beast if that's what that is. My style, I don't really know. Well, no, I guess I do know what a hammer fist is. But when I used to play in the pool that we had in our very first house, like if we were ever going to tease somebody or play around with them in the pool, you always go for the dunk. You go big or you go home. You always go for the dunk.
Bro! Nice!
Oh. Huh? Hmm.
Yeah, I just can't help but look at that. Just, ooh, so much deliciousness. Oh, we're gonna jump again. One more time. I don't know if I'll do it after that. We'll see. Another. Oh, we need to really practice. Only if you do. Yeah, that sounds good. No, let's not put our clothes back on. Let's keep those off.
Hmm? Hmm. Oh.
I don't feel bad about it. I'm sure there's another way to get a fire going.
I don't know.
No, I don't feel that way. It happens. I personally, as a real person, not the Dadsona, I am notorious for getting essentials all the time. Like I remember one time when I had to go get like a police background check to get a visa to go to Japan, because that's what they require. And I went all the way down to the police station, and then the first thing they asked me for, do you have your ID? And I didn't have my ID. So I wasted 20 minutes drive getting there, 20 minutes going back to my house, and 20 more minutes going back to the police station. So I am notorious for leaving or forgetting things. So I always have to make a list all the time. Otherwise, I'm just so absent-minded, I'll forget it. Well, see, they're naked. We're not naked, though. As far as I know, we're not naked. Craig's not naked. We might be. I mean, our dingling might just be hanging out in the woods. We don't know. If so, I'm sure Craig's getting quite, the eyeful. Well, we have some wood right here, Craig. And, well, I can't see it, but right over there somewhere. That's not the wood I'm talking about.
Oh, man.
Well, there's definitely no shortage of wood here. Ooh! Oh, these jokes are just falling in my lap. which is where I would like to be right now, Craig's lab.
Hmm?
Well, we can become a modern day Prometheus.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I'm not really sure how that'll help, but since you asked, we will do it. I'm gonna go overboard with the compliments. I mean, you can do it's fine, but let's just have fun this camping trip. Exactly. It looks more than great. It looks divine.
Nice.
I know something Craig can blow on instead. I do have a feeling, though, that actually making a fire completely from scratch is probably very, very difficult.
Hmm? Huh?
I've never had ginger with steak, but I don't think it would be bad. The thing is, though, cooking isn't as hard as everybody makes it out to be. Like, my brother can't cook worth shit, but that's because he's never honestly applied any attempt at cooking. Um, I decided when I was in high school that learning how to cook was an essential thing if I was ever going to be an independent person, and I am very strongly independently minded. So, I took home ec class and I learned some very basic cooking skills. And if you just get those basics, then you can build off them exponentially. So, I can bake, pies from scratch. I don't really grill, but the principles would be about the same as using a griddle. I could probably grill some steaks, no problem. I can make soups. I can make pasta. So what I'm saying is cooking is really not that difficult. So even if Craig started from nothing, if he applied himself and got the very basic skills, then where he is now, cooking steaks with thyme and garlic, not garlic, thyme and ginger, that's just building on the skills that you've already, the basic skills that you already have. So, like I said, cooking is not difficult. Anybody can do it. Um, a lot of people, I don't know why, but for some reason they don't think they can cook, but it's just really knowing how to apply ingredients in the right measurements. And there's no shame in following a cookbook if you got to do that, or a recipe. After you learn, well, after you cook enough for yourself, you start to kind of intuit how much of an ingredient you need. So I'm proud of Craig for learning how to cook. I think everybody, no matter what gender, no matter what age, should learn how to cook before they become an adult, or even if they're an adult, it's still never too late. It's an essential life skill, and you need to know how to do it.
Oh. Hmm.
Oh, Now you speak in my language. I love roasted potatoes with rosemary. Yes. Can I come to y'all's camp? Can I be a part of this? Because I would love to eat some of that. And I would love to eat some of this too, but that can be for dessert.
Hmm. Oh.
You think you in heaven now, wait later. We will surpass the heaven that you're having now, and we're going to have the ultimate heaven later. We're just going to have some really, really hot, yummy heaven later. I don't think I've ever had a scenario, except for one when I was a kid, where I've eaten the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the only time I can remember doing that is one time when I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11, maybe 12 at the latest. And I went to spend the night at a friend's house, and we had pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We had pizza bagels for breakfast, like Little Caesars pizza for lunch, and some sort of pizza for dinner. So, but I'm not one of those people that actually really gets bothered about eating the same thing every day. Like if that's what I have, if that's saving money, if it's delicious, then I don't mind. For example, like one of the things I do, especially towards fall and winter time, is I cook homemade chili. You know, I make a huge ass pot of chili, and because I'm only one person and I'm the only person who's eating it, because I live essentially alone, although I live with roommates, but we don't share food. But a pot of chili for me, because it's a real big pot, it can last me 3 or 4 days, and I don't mind eating it 3 or 4 days in a row because it's that good.
Oh.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. Like it is hard sometimes. Like if you've made your life more disciplined than what it was, sometimes it's easy to backslide into being undisciplined because it's just it's so much less effort. But when it comes to cooking and eating, though, I feel like it's a little bit harder to backslide because you kind of realize how little effort and how little skill sometimes that cooking can take. It just really depends on your scenario. But I have to agree. Sometimes it's hard to not go back to living an undisciplined life. Sometimes I do it. In fact, I still do it right now sometimes. It's just not something anybody's proud of, but it's just so easy to do sometimes. I am impressed. Like, I didn't personally know Craig before this. I didn't know his wild, completely undisciplined college, early young adult phase. But I'm definitely impressed with who he is now.
Oh. I don't know.
Come on, talk to me, Craig.
I don't know. Oh. Oh. Hmm? Nice.
That's not what we're talking about here.
Bro.
About, come on, game dev. Learn how to proofread. Exactly. You need to learn that you always matter as well.
I
geez. This is like something I do completely. Because we can often, or I often fall into just, how do I want to say that? Bouts of depression, right? So I fall into these bouts of depression where I am completely unmotivated. I have trouble just doing even basic things. Like some days I barely even eat anything, or I don't even go outside, and it's just like it's stuff that I desperately need to do because it's part of being a healthy human being. Um, but because I have these days where I'm completely unproductive and unmotivated, then I also, like when I am pushing myself, I also feel like, I don't deserve to have a relaxation point. Because it's like, oh, well, you had all of these bouts of depression and all of these periods of unproductivity that you wasted away, and now you got to pay for it by not having any relaxation time. And so I definitely understand where he comes from. Like you spend a chunk of your life, or just, it doesn't have to be a year or anything, but you spend a portion of your life where you don't really do anything. And then that can come back and sabotage you later, because then you think because you didn't do anything during that time in the past, it means that you don't deserve any slowing down in the future. It's like you've got to make up for what you didn't do, right? So I know what he's talking about.
Oh, man.
Oh, don't be like that, Craig. You definitely do. Hell yeah, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, he's all of these things. And he's very good looking. He really encourages the best in everybody. He even encourages the best in himself, but he kind of pushes that a little too far. Oh my Jesus. That is some romantic stuff right there.
Oh.
Well, I was hoping this was dessert, Craig, especially this. Well, I mean, this too. Well, all of that, actually. Just all of it. I was hoping it was a dessert buffet, a smorgasbord. Oh, that would be really fancy. Personally, I hate creme brulee, though. I just hate eggs.
Oh.
Yeah, right. You baked a pie for Amanda, like, I don't know. It was on Robert's second date, so what was that? Like game time, what, a week ago or something? You know about cooking, you know how to grill things, you know how to make spaghetti. It's like, don't sell yourself short. You do this all the time. Well, I was hoping it was going to say Craig pulls out his dick, but I'll settle for marshmallows, I guess.
Dude! Oh.
That is not the only thing we can skillfully put in our mouths, Craig. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Oh. Oh.
There is one thing that I will admit in being a friend with Craig. So it's like, Craig and the Dadsona were friends in college, and then apparently they didn't speak for a while because, people move on with their lives. And then, we moved to where we live in the cul-de-sac, and we caught up with Craig. And one of the things that would just bother me, and maybe it's my social anxiety, is that I wouldn't want our friendship just to be reminiscing about the past. Like, have you ever had, okay, let's see if I can explain this better. Have you ever had a friend that you made in your workplace, and it seems like no matter what, whenever you hang out with them, all they want to talk about is work? and the whatever goes on the workplace. And it's just that's why I don't really make friends with people from work, because it's just like, if I'm not in work at the moment, I don't want to just talk all about work, right? So, in being friends with Craig, this guy who we knew in the past from college, even if those memories are good memories, I don't want every instance that we're together to be, just reminiscing and recollecting about, our college past and our college memories. Like that would just, I don't know, because I would feel like we're not actually building anything on top of what's in the now, right? So it's just a small, you know, concern of mine if I was in this situation.
Oh.
We purposefully left that bitch behind, girl. See, now you can't feel bad, Craig, about leaving the matches at home, because we done screwed up even bigger. So
Huh? Oh.
ooh. Well, I mean, okay, let's just to be a little realistic here and a little fantasy based. They were roommates in college, right? What kind of roommate situation did they have? Was it just like my college roommate situation where we had a shared common space but we had our own separate bedrooms? Or did they have a situation where it was all just one room, the bedroom was in the same room, they had to share everything? And if so, did they get up to some, jerky action, Because college is a time of experimentation. Some people do that, especially if they're in their younger years. So, I'm sure there was something. Possibly. We will see. Or at least we'll imagine it, I guess. Oof. Girl, I would get hard right away from that. That's really sexy. Ooh, it's getting really spicy in this tent. Brokeback Mountain.
Oh.
Oh, I don't blame you, and I don't blame us for having them either.
Hmm. Oh.
See, now that is exactly what would put me at ease from what I just discussed a few minutes ago. We done had some sex, or it's implied. I wouldn't say it's heavily implied, but it's definitely implied.
Man, that was amazing. Just like back in college. I
Oh,
missed you, dude.
just like back in college. Okay. So as I said, pretty much the ending for every dad is almost the same. Like tons of the dialogue is the same. There's a few different scenarios here and there throughout the ending. So I'm just going to really speed through it because we've gone through pretty much all of the dialogue potential except for those unique ending situations. So just hang on, I guess.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh.
Ah.
Pew! Ah.
Hey. Yes.
Hey.
So this situation is unique to Craig's ending, of course.
Heh. Ah. Ah. Heh. Heh. Ah. Ugh. Heh. Heh. Pew!
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Yep, it really is.
Oh.
That is just really romantic, in my opinion. Like, just running your fingers through somebody's hair is just a very romantic thing to me. And you shouldn't feel guilty. I mean, you have a limited time on this earth. You shouldn't feel guilty for doing things for yourself sometimes.
Oh. Huh? Oh. Oh.
Mhm. And because we got all A's and S endings with Craig, I think in fact we got all S's, I don't quite remember. We of course get the pinup picture for Craig. And it's a nice picture, like, you know, we got some nice chest action here. We have some very prominent bulge. But anyway, thanks for watching, and next time we're gonna do our next dad date. I haven't decided exactly who it's gonna be just yet, so tune in next time, and I hope you had fun.